Hello, my party people. Hello. It's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am early, if you can even imagine such a thing. I'm early. I'm ready to go. Mr. Bunsen is quite still upset because he was just totally crashed out on my bead mat before I had to start this live. He was like, "What are you doing, lady?" So, here we are. Good afternoon, Annalise. Good afternoon, or she says good evening. Good evening, and I hope you're doing well. Hello, Deborah. Hi, Angel. Shake, shake, shake your patina paints. Because we be patina painting. Moss color and teal. Alright, so this is what we're making. This was the little first design that we made. I was able to find the hemp cording, so we got that. So this came from Jesse James during the summer doings, so I don't know if there's like a size on here or what. It just says 250 feet, number 10. I don't know if that helps us at all. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna make. I was gonna do this with a toggle, but I decided against the toggle because just toggles, I have bad luck. So I'm gonna go with this little guy here. This is a little, well, he's quite a larger lobster clasp. Whoa. Whoa. And then these are just some large jump rings that I linked together so that he can have an extender. I figured that'd be fun. So, let's get this party started, shall we? I even made a little afternoon coffee for us. So, okay, here's what we need. I'm gonna just zoom in a smidgy. What we need is, we need our 14 India glass beads. So these are all, if you are just joining us, you're new here, you're watching this in replay, this is from our inspirational bead bundle bubble netting from Thunderhorse Descendant. I put a link in the description if you need this bundle. We got a few left over there on the website. So we have our 14 beads, one spiral connector, one toggle clasp, which we are not using toggle anymore, we're using this guy, the blue hemp, patina paints in moss and possibly in blue. So I have moss, what's this one, and blue fluorite, and seed beads for the tail. I don't know, I just got these blue, these are 6s, in case you're wondering. So I got blue, and then I got just like this like kind of clear color, because these are just for the tail. I might sprinkle them in throughout the bracelet as well. We shall see what we got going on. I like this setup. Yeah. And then our charms. 2, 4, 6, 8 charms. So charms only go on the outside one. So we have those. So that is all that we need for this. And I am going to start with the patina painting, obviously. So I'm going to paint up all these metal pieces. And this is just going to take a little hot second. No big deal. Hello. We're just going to do a wash of color, we said. Nothing crazy town. Randy doesn't have a palette. This'll work. Six O's? Yes, 6 O's. Good afternoon. Me too, beading and on the laptop. 55 inches. It's always weird. Some people put me on their TV and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. For me. Just me just being really big, I guess. I don't know. What is it, Bunsen? Bunsen says, oh, are you going to use patina paints? I love patina paints. Yeah. He says, patina paints are my favorite. Yeah. No, get down. You have to get down, Bunsen. You can't be up here, you're gonna step on the buttons. Nobody wants to see your cat butt. Hold on a second. Go lay on this book. Can't even play with my pens. Mr. Bunsen has been very, like, seeking attention recently. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because Jeff's not here. What's happening? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. We're gonna be really mossy, I guess. Yeah, he wants cuddle time. He always wants to cuddle me. If I'm busy, he's like, I need cuddles. If I want to cuddle him, he's like, I am busy, woman, leave me alone. No. No. You go lay in your baby bed. All right. So we are going to do the wash of color. So how to do the wash of color, if you have not patina painted in the past, is, yeah, they're kind of under the sea colors. First, I'm going to get my brush wet. And so this is how we're going to do the quote-unquote wash of color, is because normally you would not mix water with your patina paints, okay? So I get water on the brush. Not like a lot, just, you know, like enough. And I think I'll start with the little bit of blue. And you can see how it's getting like more washed out. Get a little in there. And now it's all green. Whatever. All right, here we go. So now I'm just gonna give these all a little swoosh. A swoosh, just a swoosh of color. Bunsen, I am now officially covered in paint. You get off the printer. Blue. Yeah, you, sir. Mm-hmm. The green got all my blue. The green got all my blue. Do-do-do. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. I prefer to have you on my TV so I can see everything. That's okay. Now I'm just going back over with a little bit of this watered down blue. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to take a dry paper towel, So that's why I'm not really concerned like that they're not all dried or covered, is because it's not supposed to be like that. So it's supposed to be a little bit. Just a little smidge, and then I'm gonna wipe it off. You don't have to do that, you do you. But see, normally this is where I would have a bunch of things to paint now because I hate wasting paint. But here we go. It's just a thing. It's just a thing that happens, I guess. Just put it on this little bracelet cuff. Why not? Okay. Hello! So then I'm just going to take these things and I'm just going to give them a wipe down here. They're like almost completely dry, but not really. And that's what I want because I don't want them to be completely full of color. That's the look I'm going for, which is why I watered down paint. Most of these are already dry because I was messing around, but that's fine. Let me do this connector. Gotta be quick with patina paints. See, that's the good thing about the new paints. Those, what are they called? The ultimate paints. You don't have to be as fast with those. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this off in the middle, but not too much. Pretty good out of 10. This little guy, I think he's okay. I didn't mess with him too much. Yeah, those ultimate paints, they have a way less, I guess I won't call it less. I will call it they have a more workable time. That sounds better. More workable time, so you can do all this business. All right. Pretty good out of 10. Is this dry? Am I dry? I'm all full of paint, but I'm dry. Okay. So now, all of our pieces are ready to rock. This little guy, I don't think it's dry yet, so I'm gonna send him over here. Hello! Now, if you wanted to go over these with a clear coat, you can absolutely do that. I don't. This is kind of my jam. This is like the it's supposed to look like they were underwater growing moss, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm not gonna like clear coat them. If it chips off or cracks or whatever, that's kind of the plan. Not that that's gonna happen. I've had a lot of really good luck with patina paints, so it is what it is. So these are ready. Now, let's get going on this first part. We're gonna set up the connector and the 4 pieces of hemp. Hold on, Mr. Bunsen was napping on my bead mat because cats love bead mats. I don't know if anybody told you. And it's all gross. And I can't get this thing started. There we go. Come on, you. The struggle is real. Got it. It's just real live beading over here at Thunderhouse. So now that our little parts are dry and ready to rock, these are gonna go, I'm gonna zoom in, show you what they really look like. Can you see what they really look like? With their green and a little smidge of blue. The lighting is not great in here. Now normally I don't do clasps and stuff because, you know, that will wear if it's hooked onto something, but like I said, in this particular case, I'm not terribly worried about it. But normally I wouldn't do the clasp and stuff, but so that's what they look like. Now I'm going to start with the hemp. So like I said, this hemp came from Jesse James Summer Camp. I don't know the size, and on the thing it didn't really say a size, but I'm guessing that it's probably like the same size as like a half of like a 0.5. It's probably like a 0.5 millimeter, I would think. Not quite a 1. And we are going to use 4 strands, but I'm going to do a lark's head knot onto here with, so it looks like 2. And I don't think we should need much for that, but just to be safe, I'm going to do a half a wingspan, if I have a scissor. Oh yeah, I was gonna redo my little desk over here, and I brought the thing up from upstairs, and Shannon was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm stealing this little table," and she's like, "Mm-hmm. Oh, is that right?" Okay, it's got 2 pieces of hip that are 1/2 wingspan wide. And to start it out, I'm going to marry up the ends. And I'm going to go through one end, and I'm going to do a lark's head knot right here. So I'm still going to have this loop, and I'm just going to take those tails and go through the loop. Want to make sure they're even, because this is what I'm going to be working with. I'm going to do the same with the other side. Good afternoon, Susie. Hi, Karen. Got hung up. Lark's head knot this side. So both of these lark's heads are on the same side of the connector. This is where we're going to start our beading, and then we will we'll bead around till we get to this side, where we will then just hook our clasp here, like so. This one kind of has a hiccup here. I wonder if I can fix it without messing up the integrity of the whole dang thing. Seems pretty good out of 10. I'll say that, and then I'll make a knot and it'll like bust or something. Good afternoon. Oh, hi, Cynthia. All right, so here we are. So now we're basically going to treat these like they are 2, right? So I'm just going to start with the first one. So this, I think I'll start with this side. This side is going to be in essence, the top side. So it's only gonna have beads, no charms. That's just per my design. If you wanna do charms on both, that's completely up to you. So now we could do a crimp here if we wanted to. I don't think I'm going to, because I don't want to possibly mess with the integrity of this part of the strand. Because like if I use a crimp and I don't do it exactly precisely, it could possibly cut the thread or wear on the hemp, which will eventually cut it, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and lark's head knot it, call it a day. If you want to hit it with some super glue afterwards, you go for it. I gotta move this because I'm dangerous. That'll be the first thing that'll go all over the bead mat. All right, I'm gonna take a look-see at our design here. Okay, so we said we're gonna do blue, green. Doesn't look like there's really much rhyme or reason to what I put down. I am gonna get some of these seed beads ready because I think I might put a few in here just so to tie it all together, kind of. Again, these are 6s. Can't get the top off of this. Holy Hannah. Oh, what's going on? Is it taped? There we go. These are check glass seed beads. They are 6s. Same with these, although this is a mix. I had used it for another project that has other little beads in it, but. Great. First things first, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab up 3 of these size 6s just to get this little guy started out. I'm putting both strands through there. I unmarried it. What are you doing? Divorce. That's what you're doing. Stop it. Oop. This is supposed to be just the starting out point. Yeah, see what I did? Messed it up. That's fine. Get in there. Haha, success. Okay, so now we have 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie an overhand knot. So this is just to start out with. I'd be more scared. I would accidentally drink it. Hi, Linda. Hey, Linda, we posted your stuff online. Your pliers, I know you were looking for those. Just FYI. Okay, so they don't have to be up there super close. So then I'm just gonna flip this backwards just because it's easier for me right now. So then I gotta put on 7 beads, 7 of these beads. Any 7 of the India glass, that's what we decided. So I'm gonna start with this one. I'm only gonna put him on 1 strand. You're going to be able to see the strand over the top, and then I'm going to bring them both together and do overhand knot. Does not have to be super close. And then I'll do this little green one. Again, same difference. Overhand. And I'll do this blue one. Now, if you're struggling, you could make needles on these if you wanted to, like with super glue, like we do on the Ceylon, if you have to. I don't know that we'll necessarily have to, but I am going to give this one a trim because I'm going to try to put some seed beads on this one for funsies. Cut at an angle to make it a little more sharp. And I'm going to put the clear ones on this side. I don't know how many I want. How about 7? 7 seems like a good number. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'll bring those down here. And then that's gonna go over the top of the bead right there. Just give that one a little bit of interest as we're moving out from this pendant. And again, put them together, overhand knot. Overhand knot does not have to be tight, but I'm gonna bring this one down as close as I can to this bead, just because I don't want these little guys to be moving like way over, you know? Okay, and then we're back on it. Let's do maybe this one. So I know I said 7, but it does depend on how far apart you're making your knots, because you're gonna make for size-wise, right? Right now I think I'm okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. But also the beads are all different shapes and colors too, so you might get a little more length on one than you would another one. I'm gonna put maybe a seed bead on here. No, gotta do the cut. The clear little beads look like bubbles. Yeah. That is true. I'm gonna put 3 on this one. Overhand on it. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And don't forget, you have to put on this big clasp too, so you're gonna have extra business going on. So it's gonna add to your length situation. I'm just adding seed beads wherever I want to because it's fun. Has nothing to do with anything. Oop. You're making these knots. I gotta do again. You're making these knots, you do want to make sure they're like evened up, otherwise you're gonna have floppiness, and you don't want floppiness. So you do want to keep them together as much as possible. I love the theme. I can go on and on. Good, I'm glad you love it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6, but I'm getting a little scared. You know, I got a little wrist. No, let me see. Okay, we're currently at 5 3/4. I think I can get away with one more bead to bring us to 7. Oh no, gloopiness? I'm gonna put this one on the other side just because I got a lot of blue left. I think I'll go this one. Decisions, decisions. Oh. Alrighty, so now I feel like that's pretty good because we got to do our clasp, and my clasp is pretty big, so I want to make sure I got room for it. And I'm also going to do an extender, right? So now you got to make a choice. What side do you want to put this clasp on? Do you want, if you want to connect it here with a jump ring, or do you want to connect it on to the actual strand? I mean, technically, it would probably be easier if you're feeling any kind of intimidated again about any of this. It would probably be easier to connect it onto here with a jump ring, because then you could just connect on right here, just looping this in. So I think we'll go that way just to show how to do that. You could go the flip-flop too if you want, but then you're gonna have to tie this on, which might be a little more something else for people. Let's see, jump rings? Do we have jump rings? Bum, bum, bum. What do we got? Is this like an antique silver? Antique silver. I think I will do an oval, a small oval. Where is my plier? If you're like, Randy, why is all your stuff all over the place? It's because I was gonna rearrange this table, and also I still have all my stuff packed up because I was gonna take stuff with me to my grandma's, and then I decided against it. So I packed up all my stuff and then I didn't take it. Oops, floppiness. Yeah, we don't need any floppiness. I mean, it's up to you if you want floppiness. That's up to you. That's totally up to you. I'm gonna go little guy. I think he'll be big enough. Let's give him a whirl. He would be big enough, but I'm gonna size up just because it is tight, and I want this to be able to have movement because people are gonna be, you know, trying to put it on and whatever. Ooh, every time. So I'm going to size up to looks to be a 6. And for giggles, I'm going to use 2. That looks like, is that a 6? Are these the same? I need 2 that are the same. This way it'll be double safety, because you know how I'm crazy about safety, but also it'll look like a design choice. I think those 2 are more appropriate. Sorry about my squeakiness. Here we go. And then the second one, I'm going to put on the same way. And now, there we go. So we got double safety and movement, because there's enough movement for floppiness. There's your floppiness. And also looks like a design choice. Better to jump ring your lobster claw away. Lobster claws sometimes break. Oh, you mean this part? Flip it around. So it's like this? Is that what you're saying, Rosanna? We can do that. No problem. Not a problem. We will just take this one off. And then this one, we will just take it off. We will flip it this way. Yeah. I got confused in the flip. Nobody is surprised. Okay, so we got the flip. And then I go back in with this one. Boom, 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 boom. And just like that. Now, if we have any breakage, it is away from the skin, I think is the point of that. Flip these by spinning them. Okay, there we go. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Hi, Mr. Bunsen. Can you get down, please? Mr. Bunsen's going like this to my arm. It's like, but Mom, you're in my spot. He just wants to come up here and nap. Don't get it twisted. He's not like, oh, I miss you and I love you. He's like, get out of my spot. Okie doke. So that is that. Now, this side, we will just put this in here, but I think I will wait until to put on the adjusters or the extenders until I get the second round done. So then I can attach to both. Hi, Donna. So this is the first part. Now we're gonna start the second part. It's gonna be pretty much the same process, except for I am gonna add the charms. So I'm looking at the charms, thinking, I think I'm gonna have to add jump rings to them. Yeah. I think I'll do little rounds. I'm going to use these little 4mm rounds, and I'm just going to add a jump ring to each. Let me see if that's going to work out the way I think it is in my head. Yeah. Okay, so now when these hang, when I go to put them on my string, if this is my string, now they're gonna hang out the way I want them to, like so, instead of it would then be going this way and then they'd be hanging sideways, and that's what I don't want. So we have to add a jump ring to them, no big deal. There's 8 of them. Hi. I am going to go out on a limb here and say that I think the patina paint was a good choice. I think that it would be good either way, honestly. If you just leave them silver, or if you did the patina paint. I particularly like the patina paint, and it makes it a little more like customized, I feel like. A little more like, you know what I'm trying to say? Handmade typey kind of thing. Just my personal opinions, allegedly. Hi, Barb. Angel's still on here. Angel, are you on here? I saw your drawing. I thought it was really cool. I showed it to Shannon, and she said, "Oh, I was reading it out," and I said what you said in the message, and then she said, "Oh, what is she talking about? Her stuff is always so good." And I said, "Oh no, she's doing it's a picture of a drawing." She thought it was gonna be a picture of finished jewelry, and then I showed her the picture, and then she was like, "This drawing is good too." I was like, "Yeah, super cool." So anyway, she was saying she liked your stuff that she sees in the group. No, Mr. Bunsen. Mr. Bunsen thinks no means go ahead and get up here and then start sniffing the patina paint. Hey. Oh, he's concerned about that. All right, here we go. I'm gonna give these the marry up in the trim. Say, you can't take it. That's not yours. That's mine. This is my life. Yeah, that's, what are you doing? I'm trying to make a bracelet. You're sitting on the keyboard. Which would probably be fine, but you got hotkeys. There's hotkeys, and you'll be changing the video camera. Take your butt. Do you ever draw your piece and then when you go to make it, change it up? Yes, all the time. I just call it an outline. Mr. Bunsen, get down. Now he's trying to take stuff off my desk. Jeepers creepers. It's amazing to get anything done with you children around here. Oh, and did I fail to mention, so sometimes when Mr. Bunsen is doing too much, he has to go to his room because I'm just like, you are too much. He took the door hinges off today. It was just about as impressive as that day he took apart my stove. But yeah, that's what he was doing. Okay, here we go. So I got those on there. Those are just kind of to help like keep this knot kind of in place is the deal. Poor Mr. Bunsen. Yes, he's in some kind of phase. I don't know if this is a cat phase or what's happening, because for the longest time, he didn't want nothing to do with nobody. He was just like, no, just leave me alone and let me do my things and whatever. And he wasn't like attention seeking, like not like where he'll crawl up on me and try to like he's doing right now, where he's trying to hug me and like stuff. And now all of a sudden it's like this. Yeah. And now all of a sudden he just wants to be held for some unknown reason, unbeknownst to me. I think it's because you're tired and you're just being whiny. He's like a toddler. Get in your baby cot. Watch your birds. And so this is my life. Every about 15 minutes, I gotta go put the cat down somewhere else. And Jeff's just like, what are you doing? Okay, if I have 7 beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have 8 of these, does that mean I go here? That means I have to start with 1. Okay. So I have to first start with a charm to make it like even. So I'm just gonna thread that on just like a normal charm. on one strand. You could do it on two if you want to. That's completely up to you. I'm gonna do it on one. You need one of those baby wraps for Mr. Bunsen. Yes, yes I do. Just carry Mr. Bunsen around with me like a child. They would probably really think I'm crazy at that point. And I'd be like, listen, it's just easier than dealing with him. But yeah, he took the hinges off his door. Get out of my plant, Bunsen. No. Hey. You will get the big trouble. Now he's eating my plant because I'm not paying attention to him. I think I want to do this big green bead. Ooh, probably not right there, huh? Next to the other green one. I'll do this one instead. That boy has mad skills. Yeah. Hey, get down. Stay out of my plants. It's just a mister. He's not being abused. It's just a little water mister. It's for your face. I put seashells in my plants so that he would stop eating them. He doesn't dig in the dirt anymore now that I put seashells in there. But he does, just if they're big enough to go over the side of the pot, then he'll eat the leaves off. But only when he's mad at me. Okay, so bead and then charm. What are we doing on time? Oh yeah, 3:46. We got all kinds of time. Now these ones, I am putting the knots pretty close together just because I don't really want them to slide around too much. If you don't mind if they slide around, then that's up to you. But that's how I'm going. I'm doing looser knots on the beads, but not too much. Admittedly, that one was a little looser than I thought, but I think I'm coming up on that little weak spot on my string. And I kind of want to be able to tie a knot around it. Ooh. Yes, I'll just leave that off. On this one, I was like, oh, I'll put 2 instead of 1. And the universe was like, no. And it fell off. So, I guess we're not doing that. I hear you, universe. Yeah, so now I was able to tie that weak spot in that string up in this knot, so I feel better about that. Now I'll put this big green one. Gotta do the snip. I put 7 on there, just like this clear one. So I can tell, just based on my situation here, that I'm gonna have less beads on this one than I did on the first one. Originally I planned for 7, just like the other time, but it is what it is. I will say, I do like this setup here of this hemp situation. Bunsen, do not eat that. That is paint, silly town. Anyways, that boy is into everything. That's the truth. So here's what coming up on this end. If I want them to be even, you know, so I kind of got to keep an eye on that. And because you have knotting, you have to know that that is going to stretch out just a smidgy. So I could probably get one more bead on here. Which one am I going to use? I think I'll do the oval. Maybe. Oop. Drop it. Okay. All right. So now, here I'm going to zoom out just a smidge so you can see. So here's my 2 strands, right? And I'm going to marry these up. And the only important thing for me really is that this, the one without the charms is on the top. So basically, I have this upside down for you because I have to tie it upside down, but this would basically be the top, because we had said this was going to be going away from the skin. So if this is what's going to hook in, that would make this strand the top, this one the bottom with the charms, and I just want to tie them together like so, make sure they're not twisted. What did my son do? He's doing everything, Jefferson. He is into everything. So we're going to take all 4 strands now, overhand knot, and we are going to bring that up pretty close. You could do another bead here too if you wanted. If you had like a large one, if you needed the length, you could do another bead or whatever. I'm just going to do a knot because I am going to use the extenders. So there we go. And now basically it's going to wrap around like this, and all we're going to do here is we're going to take these are just jump rings, they're just large jump rings. I hooked them together, we painted them. I'm going to unhook this one, open it, I'm going to open it, and then I am going to put it in here into this strand right here. Actually I'm going to do both. Let's see if I can get into both here. Secure it on. All right, now we have extenders. This way, if you needed more or less, you could get it there with that. And with 6 minutes to spare, we are going to put on our little seed beads on the end. That's what it's looking like. I'm quite happy with it. So I'm going to take one of these, give it a snip, and put on my seed beads. Now I do have some charms left because we didn't get to use all those, so I think I will put those on here as well on the ends. I love it. Yay, I'm so happy you love it. I'm going to bring it down You can make these as short or as long as you'd like. Now when I tie these, I'm going to do the surgeon's knot situation basically. So I'm going to go around once and then through again just for safety. It's also going to make that knot a little bit bigger because these are 6s. And I'm going to do that to each side here. And there's really no rhyme or reason to this. I'm just putting them on. They don't have to be the same pattern or even the same amount of beads if you don't want. So I'm making this one a little longer. The hemp is starting to untwist itself. There we go. And then again, 1, 2. Bring that guy down there. Perfect. It actually ended up that I have a charm for each little strand, which is kind of interesting. So I have 4 left, so that's kind of cool. Super cute. I would never think to use hemp. Well, remember I said I got this whole drawer full of cording and I got to use it. And I feel like summertime is the time. Summertime is the time for that, I guess. I don't know. Okay, last bead. 1, 2. Now we can just cut. So there's our little basically little tassel-y bits on the end. Now you could cut way up there close. I would suggest put a little dab of super glue on the end of these little knots. Not too much, but just a little smidge. I'm just going to leave them like that. I am going to do the super glue. And then let's take a look at the sizing. So I'll put on the smallest size right here. We get 7 1/2. 7 1/2. Now, I mean, largest size, we get 8 1/2. 7 1/2 or 8 1/2 on the larger size. And you could do, you know, obviously if you did more loops, you could do larger. If you wanted it smaller, you would just maybe not do as many here. Or if you made it this big and you were like, oh, I want it smaller, just put these together and put one of them large jump rings in there and then use that as a clasp. That is great, a great range. Yeah, and then these little guys here, I'm trying to spin it so you can see. These little guys right here will kind of blend in with this little tassel bits. And there you go. So let's take a look at the actual product versus the design, which I think turned out pretty well. We did change it a little bit. We were originally going to do this on a toggle clasp right here, but decided against that. And I'm glad we did, because this gives us the ability to make it more sellable because it has different sizes. And also I just struggle with the trust. I have trust issues. Did you guys know about my trust issues, my security policies? So there's that. So we actually ended up using on the outside strand 1, 2, 3, only 4 beads. I did use some of the larger beads, but yeah. So that's how she's gonna look on. I love all the little details. Well, I have a really tiny wrist, so I could probably just slide it on. This is on the smallest size. It's about 1.5 inches too big for me, but you guys get the idea. I think painting them was a good choice. I think I like it. You don't have to like it if you don't want to. It's fine. But I do like it. I really like the little tassely bits. And I think it turned out exactly the way that I had planned. Gives me that netting feeling with the way the knots are kind of far apart like that. And it gets given spirals. It's giving bubble netting. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I dig it. Yeah, I think we did good. So there you go. That is project 1 from Whale Bubble Netting, the inspirational bead bundle by Thunderhorse Descendant for the month of May. I love it. It is better with the lobster. Beautiful project. Gotta go. Okay, bye, Karen. And we made it completely on time. It's 4:01 in 1 hour. Can totally do it. So, you guys, I like it so much I might have to do another one. But we use a baller beads. But anyways, this in my personal opinion, this is a great project. So there you go. Project 1. Whale bubble netting bracelet. Dunzo. In the books. It's a great range. Yay. Alright guys, well, I'm not going to hold you up. It's 4 o'clock. I know you guys got things to do, places to be. I got 30 minutes before Shannon leaves, so we gotta have our little meeting and stuff. Mr. Bunsen is now officially completely asleep, just sleeping like an angel right here on the desk. Perfect timing. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, spectacular, amazing beading day. Thank you all for showing up. Don't forget to like my video. That really helps me with the algorithm. Share it if you feel the need. And if you do need this bundle, if you haven't got it already, you can swing over to the website. We have a few left on the website. I put a link in the description. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow morning for coffee before I go to the bead store. So if you need something for the bead store, I put that form in the description of this video. If you need something from Taylor's Falls, you can just put that form. That form goes right to my email. So then when I'm out there, I can just go, what did you want? All right, you guys, I'll see you in the morning. Bye.